Today's horoscope, Libra April 26, 2025. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. Early today, restlessness is possible. On the one hand, you might strongly desire a more in-depth exploration of a topic, or you seek more intimacy and involvement with someone. On the other, your mind is restless for new learning and experiences. Keep in mind that any problems cropping up due to this fundamental conflict are likely to be quickly resolved if you focus on moderating your expectations and actions. Aim to pace yourself. As the day advances, transits support this mission. People have a way of jump-starting your thinking processes at this stage with Mercury in your partnership sector and the Moon joining Mercury today. You can enjoy having someone on the same mental wavelength as you. Major problems are in the air for you over the coming days. In fact, it would be especially important to lie low now and in the days ahead. This is because our mighty red planet, Mars, which rules sex, drive, and passion, is orbiting in your solar house of communities and will be in a furious battle with dark and murky Pluto, the planet of domination and destruction, now energizing your solar house. With Mars in your sector of friends as well as social circle and the realm of online dating, you could have a very harsh exchange, especially around the themes of intimacy, honesty, and sexuality. Don't rock the boat. Let the storm pass. Do you know what is expected of you, and vice versa? You may need to rehash boundaries and expectations in your professional arrangements when the Moon enters Aries, forming a conjunction with Neptune in Aries and Mercury in Aries. The hazy cosmic energy implies that something could go awry if it is not clarified sooner rather than later. For example, something said may not be produced in a contract or deliverable. If you want to avoid misunderstandings, get everything in writing so everyone is on the same page. Today's celestial energy creates a hotbed of emotional irritation, but you can convert this energy into compassion. You must stick to your physical regimen this week in order to avoid the often frustrating quality of this aspect. If you are burning off excess energy at the gym, if possible, or in your running shoes or bathing suit, you are more likely to use your heart rather than your mind when faced with difficult decisions involving those you love. Cooking is also recommended. The Chariot card is associated with your number in tarot. At first thought, this can seem strange if you connect something fast-moving with this. However, there is more to this symbol than just speed. The Chariot is often the vehicle for the delivery of messages. For you, it symbolizes the way that you can bring knowledge to others through your experiences, insights, and understanding. This is truly what your life path is all about. Give it some thought on this day. What makes the Moon spending its final hours in your work sector at a friendly aspect to all three planets here significant is that while it has done this numerous times, is that they are all getting ready to leave. This is the Moon's last visit before, for the second time this year, Venus leaves next month, before the dwarf planet Ceres, who returned in February to begin her first deep dive in your needs and priorities on the job front, leaves in 3 weeks. A friendly aspect to the asteroid Juno, the Queen of Commitment, for the first time since she returned to your income sector last week, will leave you with a lot to unpack on the income and job fronts. While Venus, the planet of love, is still 6 days away from her return to your relationship sector, the Moon's return today is a chance to start preparing the way. The Moon will come full circle from last month's eclipsing new moon to find that Mercury, the planet of communication, has returned and that Mars is now back in your friendship sector. This marks the start of some important days for friendship and relationship building that can prepare the way for Venus' return next week. Daily Planetary Overview. Today brings with it a unique blend of challenges and opportunities, all wrapped up in the cosmic dance between Mercury and Saturn. As Mercury in steady Taurus squares off with Saturn in wise but stern Aquarius, you might find yourself navigating through a morning that feels more rigid than usual. Communication could feel blocked, conversations might come off more serious than intended, and there's a strong possibility that misunderstandings leave you questioning whether your words are being heard at all. If you wake up feeling like your thoughts are foggy or your ideas are being met with resistance, know that you're not alone. This energy can feel like walking into a room with something important to say, only to be met with silence or worse, criticism. Maybe it's a boss who doesn't see the value of your work, a friend who seems emotionally distant, or even just your own inner voice being harsher than usual. Saturn has a way of turning up the volume on doubt, especially when it clashes with Mercury, the planet of communication and thought. But here's the thing, just because progress feels slow doesn't mean you're not moving forward. Saturn teaches us patience, structure, and discipline, not to hold us back, but to help us build something that lasts. So if your ideas are being tested today, it might be a sign that they're worth refining, not discarding. What feels like a setback could actually be a valuable pause that gives you time to reflect, regroup, and strengthen your message. You might also notice a desire to retreat into your own world, especially as Mercury forms a soft, dreamy sextile to Neptune in Pisces later in the day. After the morning's tension, this aspect offers a much-needed release. You may catch yourself daydreaming, listening to music that stirs the soul, or seeking the comfort of creative outlets. If you're an artist, a writer, or someone who simply enjoys the escape of imagination, this is your invitation to lean into that. Sometimes, when the external world feels too heavy, turning inward isn't avoidance, it's healing. Maybe you're reminiscing about a simpler time, imagining how things could be different, or finding comfort in a fictional world. That's okay. Give yourself that grace. Just don't forget to come back to the present when you're ready with a little more clarity and a renewed perspective. This afternoon could bring a welcomed shift in mood. As Neptune's influence washes over the mind, the stressors from earlier in the day may start to lose their weight. You may realize that the deadlines you were rushing to meet can be adjusted, or that the conversation you were dreading doesn't need to happen right now. There's relief in letting go of the illusion of urgency. If you can, take some time to reconnect with people who lift your spirits. A casual chat with a friend, a walk outside, or a moment of laughter can do wonders for your energy. Even just taking a break from the screens and to-do lists to let your mind wander can help you reset. Creative projects, especially ones without pressure or deadlines, can bring a sense of fulfillment. Let yourself doodle, write, bake, or build something simply because it brings you joy. This day is a beautiful mix of grounded realism and imaginative escape. It challenges us to find the balance between structure and surrender, between getting things done and letting things flow. If you're feeling overwhelmed, remember, it's okay to not have all the answers today. Progress isn't always linear, and productivity doesn't always mean output. Sometimes, showing up for yourself, listening to your needs, and choosing kindness over criticism is the most important step forward. What about you? Have you had a day where everything felt like a struggle until something shifted and suddenly things didn't seem so bad? Or a moment when creative inspiration found you after you'd almost given up? I'd love to hear how you've worked through moments like this. Share your experience in the comments. We grow stronger when we support each other. Let today be a gentle reminder. Even when the skies feel stormy, clarity always returns. You're doing better than you think.